Hello all YouTubers, I'm the Weather Dude. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my live stream, my premiere special coverage of Winter Storm Harper, and also the first edition of my spring outlook I'm going to be telling you about in this video as well, so stick around for that. So thank you for tuning into my presentation for January 17th, 2019. Let's get right into it here. Here's a little joke about Winter Storm Harper, if you get the joke. You see Bryce Harper, soon to join the Phillies. You see Winter Storm Harper, that is the name of the storm. So that's the idea. So just a little picture. But you can see the snow totals in the background, which I can give you a full cover picture. But this storm produced 4 feet of snow in the Sierra Mountains in California, and it could produce over 2 to 3 feet of snow in northern New England. So this storm's going to be a force to be reckoned with here. This is not something you want to joke around about. This is going to be a very big storm. As you can see here, here's the GEM model. Some heavier snow just east of Maine, down East Maine. But like places like all along the Maine coast could see at least a foot of snow, at least 10 inches. A lot of heavy snow in northern Massachusetts, 20 inches, 21 inches. But it's a huge cutoff, and this is why the tracking of this storm is so it's so dependent on where the storm goes, because if you draw a line like right here, right? No more than like 50 miles, maybe 20 miles, some around there. That northern spot of that line over here, over here in Ohio, that's 10 inches, right? You go to the bottom part of that line, we're down to 3 inches. So just that little line has a difference of 7 inches of snow. That's why this storm is so track dependent. This is why it's very dangerous, because you'll be like, oh, we'll be in 3 inches, I'm fine. Next thing you know, the track goes a little bit farther south, and all of a sudden you're in 10 inches. You're like, oh my goodness. So from down East Maine up to Southeast Canada, maybe like around 20 to 27 inches of snow, okay, for the next few days. But you can see a lot of areas of 6 inches plus indicating that pink, okay. So this storm is going to be very dangerous. I'm going to get into some more maps and models as well. Okay, there you go. You can see more clearly. But even around Cape Cod, I know the map doesn't go all the way out to the Cape Cod. It's kind of sloppy. But you can't see. There will be at least 6 inches for the Cape Cod as well. Like I said, this does include sleet. Okay, this does include ice. And that doesn't also really factor in the rain that much. If you go to total positive snow depth change, this factors in the rain and all that. So this is more accurate. This is what I'd rather look at. And if you look down East Maine, this is what we're talking about here. 2 to 3 feet of snow. Maybe even a little bit more. Okay, so 2 to 3 feet is possible up there. And you see the 6 inches plus, it's still in play. Even the areas of green, teal, maybe 12 inches plus. So, okay, so I'm not just going to show you the snow totals. Okay, I'm going to show you where the storm's going to go as well. And there's this kind of like a storm last year that we had. We had like an appetizer storm, and then it was like we had this big monster. Okay, I forget which storm that was called last year. I think it was one of the nor'easters that we had last March. Okay, this storm's going to be just like that one. It was one of the nor'easters back in March of 2018. But anyway, so here's the first storm, okay? It's going to be relatively weak. I know a lot of kids in my school are asking, are we going to have a snow day, or are we going to have a delay? My answer would be probably not, looking at the latest model runs, but I think there is still a possibility because of the timing of the storm. It's going to come right before morning rush. Okay, so you can see it on Friday. Okay, early Friday morning. Okay, so the snow will be here. It's not going to be relatively heavy. It's going to be light. Okay, I know I've watched a lot of YouTube weather channels, and they've always said, well, 540 line is kind of like your rain snow line. Honestly, I really don't agree with that, because so they're kind of thinking of the 540 line as like the 32-degree line. Well, it's really not. If you look at the rain frozen, right? So you can see the rain snow lines right around like the Newcastle County, Delaware, like around DC. Okay, and you see the 540 line is all the way down in around Norfolk, Virginia, right? Well, if I go to the contours, right, same exact hour, okay, the 32-degree line is all the way up here. Okay, it's not down here like the 540 line is. So, okay, just so you know, if you're one of the people that believes that 540 is the rain snow line, it's really not. Okay, because look, I mean, I know it's not perfect with every storm, but look at this. Even north of the 540 line, it's rain. And if you go north of that, it's snow. Okay, so, and once we take the 6 hours later, it's still snow. Okay, this storm is nothing too impressive. Okay, you can see a snug little low pressure sitting offshore. get a nice little backflow, maybe some light snow, and then light rain on the southern side. But Winter Storm Harper is going to be so dangerous because a lot of these areas, like, we're going to have about an inch of rain, okay, because this is going to go to rain. It's going to be a very heavy rain, okay, and this is why it's going to be so dangerous, because you're like, oh yeah, 1 to 2 inches of rain, we get that all the time. Well, no, not necessarily, okay, because you see the temperature on Sunday, the high is going to be 43 degrees-ish if you live in the Pennsylvania, Delaware, Jersey area. I'm gonna focus in on this area right here. So maybe like 40 to 45, let's say. Okay, but the nighttime temperature is going to be anywhere from 3 to 7 degrees. The actual temperature, not the real feel. Real feels are going to be in the negative double digits, like negative 15. Okay, the real feels at night. Okay, so any standing water on any surface is going to freeze like crazy. Okay, so 1 to 2 inches of rain. That doesn't necessarily mean when it freezes 1 to 2 inches of ice. Okay, because it's not going to be 1 to 2 inches of rain on the road. But you can see if we take the precipitation throughout the GFS model latest run, take you through the end of the storm, we'll take you through Tuesday afternoon. Okay, maybe early Tuesday afternoon here. Alright, this area of light purple here, that's 2 inches plus of rain. Okay, so this storm is a force to be reckoned with, not one to be messed around. Okay, don't mess around with this. Don't say, oh, it's nothing. Okay, because even all this zone right here, it's an inch plus of rain. And you add that to all the rivers. Okay, even those rivers, it gets so cold in some spots that I think those rivers could actually freeze. Okay, like just small creeks and streams. The big rivers are going to have a tough time freezing. The oceans are going to have a tough time freezing. Because if you live inland, like right around here, the temperature is going to be single digits. But down the shoreline, it's going to be in the teens. So it won't be as bad. But the rear fields will still be in the negatives. Okay, so maybe negative single digits. Okay, so this storm is nothing to be messed around with. Please don't think this storm is nothing. And guess what? After the first storm, the appetizer, and after Winter Storm Harper, there's going to be another system that's going to come up from the Pacific Coast. Okay, this one doesn't look as impressive as of now. Okay, this will come early next week. Now, this one we gotta pay attention to, because if you look at the hour 108, okay, this is less than 5 days away. Okay, so people are gonna start issuing forecasts on it. Okay, you see the low all the way down here, feeding up some of that moisture. It's not gonna be too much. It's actually, I'm gonna take that back because this storm's gonna be moisture starved. It's gonna come like a northwest kind of wind. Okay, so this storm won't be too impressive. Okay, we're gonna go like long term here. Then the low, finally, once it moves through the southern plains, it finally gets some strength in. Okay, western side some heavier snow, northern side some more moderate snowfall. And look at the pressure, 999. That's pretty much more or less around tropical storm strength. And look at this, goes down to 992 the pressure, and then 991. And maybe once it throws down the back side. Okay, and this is what I find fascinating, because you're going to have a high pressure somewhere parked out here, and it's going to throw in a nice moist flow. I'm actually going to redraw that. So, like I said, we're going to have a low pressure system here with a counterclockwise flow, throw in the cold air. Okay, we're also going to have a high pressure, like I said, out here. Okay, it's going to throw warm Atlantic moisture into around Kentucky, Tennessee, northern Alabama, and Mississippi. But this is just west of the mountains, the Smoky Mountains, if not right on the Smoky Mountains. Okay, so you're going to have this huge band of snow where these two air masses collide, because the low pressure provides that cold, dry air because of its positioning, and this high pressure provides that Atlantic moisture. Okay, so again, this storm is very dangerous. Okay, do not think, okay, just because we're going to see rain, that means we're not going to see any threats from this storm. That is not true whatsoever. Okay, sea surface temperature anomalies, that high pressure, like I said, it's going to throw that nice warm Atlantic moisture, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, if we look at the Atlantic sea surface temperature anomalies, they are above average in the southeastern Atlantic. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean to jumpstart the Atlantic hurricane season, but with that high position out here, it's going to help throw that nice warm moisture into the heavy snow band potentially that could hit near the Smoky Mountains. You're going to have the low pressure that provides the cold and dry air. Okay? So this is why we can have a heavy snow band potentially, okay? Nothing to mess around with. So Climate Prediction Center, this is our spring outlook. This is where we're going to get it from right here. Okay, I'm not going to agree with everything they say. Okay, I'm also going to make my own moderations because I think it could be much different. 6 to 10 day outlooks, okay? 23rd to 27th. If you want to see snow, this is what you want to see. You got the cold, you got below average temperatures, and above average precipitation. Boom, we'll have a lot of snow. But I think the fire threat could potentially escalate for the West Coast again, okay? Because if it's cold and dry, you're going to be okay. But if you see here, we're going to be warm, Western Coast, and there's about a 50-60% chance of warmer than average temperatures and a 60 to 70% chance of below average precipitation. Okay, in that darker area of brown, that's the higher, not necessarily the higher severity of below average precipitation, but a higher probability of it. So yes, you could kind of say higher severity, but that's not really what that means. It just means a higher probability of it. And look at this. So basically from at least from the 23rd, maybe 22nd, all the way through the end of January, California here is going to be warm and dry. And maybe you're starting to see that pattern, that El Nino finally take shape. You're going to have that ridge, okay? This proves it. Look at Alaska. They're warm. Okay, we're going to take this huge dip in the jet stream. Okay, I'm sorry I explained this many times. Nice to review. Okay, again, huge dip in the jet stream. Southern Plains, I really don't necessarily agree with being below average. I think it should be above average. Okay, the week 3 to 4 outlooks. So 26th to the 8th. So 26th January to 8th of February. Again, this will be updated tomorrow afternoon, I believe. Okay, so it's updated every week. So 11th of January, this was updated. Today's the 17th, so hopefully on the 18th, in the afternoon, you can go and check this out. It doesn't update in the morning. It updates usually like in the late afternoon. But anyway, so you can see colder temperatures in the east, warmer temperatures in the west, including Alaska, northwestern Alaska dry, southern Alaska wet, and much of the country is dry according to this. Like I said, this will be updated tomorrow, so this is kind of like an old archive kind of thing. I haven't shown you this site in a while. That's it. Once it loads, this is windy.com, okay? I don't know if you might have heard of it before, but it's another tracking site that is nice to use once in a while, okay? So, what I am going to show you is the rain accumulation, because it could be fairly significant. And an inch doesn't sound like much, but like I said, when you have a solid ground this time of year, okay, that water is going to flow right down that solid ground. It doesn't have a nice warm and soft ground for it to absorb in. It's got that cold, hard ground. Okay, so Dover, maybe like a ½ inch of rain. Northern Delaware, maybe like 1 to 1.5 inches of rain. Philadelphia, Center City, 1.5 inches. You go north and west of the city, it's down to like an inch. Reading, Pennsylvania, like 1.39 inches. Okay, and there will be some fairly heavy rainfall, especially back towards southeastern Ohio, where you could pick up 2 to 3 inches of rain. You can see 2.5 here, according to the ECMWF model, which is the Euro model, in fact. Okay, if we go over the GFS model, okay, the rainfall is more significant, say around from DC to Baltimore, Wilmington, Delaware, Philadelphia. The rainfall is more like closer to 2 inches rather than closer to 1 inch. Okay, and not as much rain for places say like southeastern Ohio, down to Kentucky, but still 1 to 2 inches of rain. Still nothing to mess around with. Okay, the NAM model I can't really show you because it only goes out 3 days on this website. Okay, so that's what it does in general, and it goes out 3 inches. So I really can't show that to you. But I can show you on the ECM, WF, and the GFS is new snowfall. Okay, and GFS, the ECWF used to look more impressive. Now the GFS looks more impressive with the snowfall. Okay, from the latest run here, 2 to 3 inches, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Okay, Northern Delaware, Center City, Philadelphia, maybe like 1 to 2 inches of snow. Baltimore, 1 to 2 inches. And go down to DC, they're under a winter weather advisory, in fact, which I'm kind of mad because if you live around Philly and North Delaware and southeastern Pennsylvania, extreme eastern Pennsylvania, it's like you're going to get more snow in DC. You're not even under an alert yet. Okay, but just relax, it will come. You're more far out because you're further to the east, so you're still uncertain. But southeastern Pennsylvania, just west of Reading, northeast of Harrisburg, and west of Allentown, maybe 7.1 inches, and then maybe even like 11 inches up, say, in northern Pennsylvania, like around Erie. Okay, but the ECMWF model Okay, showing just an inch for Philly, Center City, Baltimore, down DC. They're barely even showing anything, like a coating to an inch. But they're showing more impressive totals, say around Du Bois, Pennsylvania, Parker, Pennsylvania, like northern central Pennsylvania, around 16.2 inches. Okay, rarely does this site, I've used this site for a while, I just haven't showed it in my videos too much. But this doesn't really show over 2 feet, no matter what storm, really. Okay, this doesn't really show really over 16 inches of snow unless you're in the mountains. Okay, Newcastle, Pennsylvania, 13 inches of snow possibly. Like I said, down the Cape, 1.8 inches. Okay, but you go not too far up to the north, like up to Boston, we're up to 9 inches according to the ECMWF. Okay, GFS, 4.7 inches of snow. To wrap it up here, we're going to show you an article from the Weather Channel, what they're saying. So Saturday, here you have it. You have some snow and outline an area of snow and ice. Philadelphia, I actually disagree with that. That should be a rain and a snow icon for Philadelphia. I don't know why they changed it to a rain icon. But Detroit, snow. Chicago, lighter snow. Detroit, more of a heavier snow. Springfield, light snow. Mix of rain and snow in Pittsburgh. And mix of rain and snow in Indianapolis. And Albany will have some snowfall. But down in the south, it's just plain rain for you. But then again, if you're in southeastern Ohio, okay, this could be one of the most dangerous ice spots. You live in southeastern Ohio and you actually get 2 to 3 inches of snow. Rain, 2 to 3 inches of rain. And that freezes up because temperatures are going to get just as cold here in Ohio as it's going to get around Delaware, Jersey, Pennsylvania, DC, Albany. Well, not as cold as Albany, but almost just as cold. Could you imagine 2 to 3 inches of rain freezing up? That's not going to look too pretty. That doesn't, like I said, that doesn't mean 2 to 3 inches of ice. But it does mean a lot of problems. If you rewind to Friday real quick, Chicago, Rapid City, Sioux Falls, Omaha, it's going to be in that area of snow. Salt Lake City, snow from another system on the backside. Albuquerque, okay, some rain showers for you, not too much. Okay, but Wichita, Kansas City, it is going to be all rain, just plain rain. Maybe some ice mixed in on the backside. But as you head into Sunday, so this is what's gonna happen. Okay, so Saturday, your low, like around a lot of these areas, is gonna, like, let's take Delaware, DC, Pennsylvania, for example. Okay, your temperatures are gonna bottom out around the low mid 30s. But overnight, this has happened before with these storms. Overnight, the temperatures are gonna rise into the 40s, and that's gonna allow that rain to sneak in. Okay, so through the morning, on the morning, Sunday morning, you are going to wake up to warm conditions, temperatures in the 40s, which is your average high for a lot of areas this time of year. Okay, but then as you head through the morning to the afternoon, the temperatures are going to crash into the 20s, and eventually at night they're going to crash into lower single digits. Okay, so that's going to allow that flash freeze to occur in the afternoon, and then an even bigger flash freeze. So there's going to be 2 parts to it. The flash freeze that occurs around early afternoon is when temperatures will crash into the 20s. Phase 2 of this flash freeze is when it is going to occur around the nighttime. Okay, when temperatures drop into single digits in some spots. Okay, so this is premiering live. I hope you got to use the live chat. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the video. Okay, so I hope you're all having a great day. I dedicate this presentation to all the hard workers out there. Thank you for fighting for us. Thank you so much. I am the Weather Dude, signing off. Till next time.